past, you saw a big Ford pickup carry a Chevy pickup up this monster mountain of boulders. But now we're going to top ourselves by carrying a Chevy and towing a Dodge pickup up the same mountain. Because this year, Ford has the most powerful lineup of V8 engines, gas and diesel, of any pickup. And only Ford has independent front suspension for ground-grabbing traction. No wonder they're America's best-selling full-size pickups. The best-built American trucks are built Ford Tough.
All right, everybody, what's going on? I got my quarantine mask. I'm ready to rock and roll. Driving without registration and insurance, so, you know, being safe, you know, being a smart individual. But it's all good. I got the co-pilot, and we're rolling deep. We're rolling deep right now. So this is my 1985 Ford F250. It's got a 302 V8. Pretty excited. It's my first V8. I've only had 6-cylinder vehicles in the past. As you seen in my previous video, the F100 is a inline 6 with a 300. Single barrel. This one's got a 2-barrel. Originally, this was actually a fuel injection truck. The guy who owned it, I guess he was an old school dude, didn't like all the electronics and all that good stuff, so he converted it back to carburation. And so as it goes, I am now the third owner of this truck. The second owner, which is the people from the family that I bought it from, he had bought it probably 1989, and he's had it ever since. And from what he was telling me, that the guy babied this truck. He took very good care of it. It was his work truck. I guess he was like a cement guy. He did cement and roofing and stuff, and so he took really good care of this truck because this was his daily, and this is what he drove every day to work. And I can respect that, and hopefully we can carry on the tradition with that. Because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fell in love with that story, and so I was like, I'm sold. I want this truck. I love it. So this is a 1985, so this is a part of the bullnose era of trucks. It's the generation right after mine. And the cool thing about it is that when I was a little kid, I had a big wheels, electronic little truck. And it was a Bigfoot, and it had the same front. So this is kind of a cool moment to be able to have a truck that looks the same.
A trip to Compton and $900 later, I'm now the proud owner of this 1985 Ford F250. Just a fun little side project while I get the 74 all dialed in. But in the meantime, let's do a little deep dive on this 85. For being how old it is, the front end is in immaculate shape. The grill shell is in great condition, a few dings here and there. A little bit of overspray, but that can be solved with some acetone. I think the front end is one of the highlights of this truck. So I'll go ahead and address it now. The paint, obviously not so great, but in certain lighting situations, it's kind of charming, but for the most part, it's kind of trash. It might be rattle canned, not too sure. It's definitely peeling like crazy. I kind of want to just buff it out and see if it just comes off, because I mean, at certain parts on the truck you can kind of see the original color, which is like this sort of silver metallic. I decoded the VIN and it gave me a paint code of silver metallic, so I kind of want to try that out. If not, I mean, it really can't get any worse than it is now. No rot on the window seals, everything looks in great condition. This truck is essentially the poster child for a California truck. Every California truck I've come across has some pretty significant rust, but this one's actually pretty good. Tailgate lights to stick, but I mean, what old truck doesn't? A lot of the times these old pickup trucks sit at a rake and the water just pulls up and just eats it away, but damn man, this bed is in great condition. Not much tread on them, but I'm honestly surprised that they were able to hold air. As you can see here, the date of manufacturer, 11th week of 2009. Holy crap. It almost looks like an all-terrain tire. I mean, dang, they really wore this thing down. The wheels were painted white, but I'm not really a big fan of white wheels. After doing some VIN decoding, it says I got a Dana 60 in the rear. Nice. Fresh gear oil and a new gasket will do wonders for it. Some more evidence of how rust-free this truck is. Floor pans, amazing. Frame rails, terrific shape. All the fuel lines and all the brake lines, all in great shape. Nothing's rotted, nothing's rusted. Sucks I can't find pre-smog trucks in this great of a condition. Stock exhaust setup with 2 catalytic converters. I did some digging and those were standard for California trucks to have those 2 cats, one right after the other like that. Got the F250 standard issue C6. Transmission looks just as bad as the rear diff. This thing is caked in grease and oil. There's got to be a leak somewhere. Trans shift's okay as is, but it could be better. I'll do a fluid change and filter and all that good stuff, new gasket. When I did the initial test drive, this thing basically wanted to buck me off the road once I got past 35 miles an hour. That thing was shaking and bucking, man. I figured it out pretty soon after. Tie rod ends, shot. Ball joints, kingpin, all in great shape. So I'm just gonna go ahead and replace the tie rod ends, the drag link, and the adjusting sleeve. The faux wood grain has seen better days. Just gonna go ahead and leave it. I honestly don't think it's worth the effort to go ahead and like respray it and all that. Moving on to the interior. Honestly, the only real blemish is this tear right here in the door handle. A service receipt from a radiator muffler shop. Almost positive it's not the radiator. You'll find out soon enough. Radio works, but tape deck, unfortunately, doesn't work. First real blemish of the truck is this cracked dash. I mean, that just happens over time. Just gonna keep this nice little cloth dash pad. It's clearly not for this truck, but it does the job, and I kind of like it. Way Sweet XL badge. Gonna have to eventually put that on.